Hello fellow connectors, we're in a series right now called IOU, and we're talking about using our talents or our gifts or whatever it is that God has given us for His glory. And this is probably the most famous passage of Scripture that goes along with that subject. And we're not going to preach on it in our series, but I thought I'd at least toss it to you in a devotion. I'm going to paraphrase a little bit. This comes out of Matthew 25, starting in verse 14. And this is the parable of the talents. If you Google the parable of the talents, is the first one that comes up, probably the most famous of the parables. He says, again, it was like a man going on a journey who called his servants and entrusted his property to them. To one he gave 5 talents of money, to another 2, and to another 1 talent, each according to his ability. Then he went on his journey. The man who had received the 5 talents went at once and put the money to work, and he gained 5 more. So also a man with 2 gained 2 more. But the man who received 1 talent went off, dug a hole in the ground, and hid his master's money. After a long time, the master of those servants returned and settled accounts with them. The man who received 5 talents brought the other 5. Master, he said, you entrusted me with 5 talents. See, I have gained 5 more. His master replied, well done, thy good and faithful servant. You have been faithful with few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Come and share your master's happiness. Now, so the first guy who was given 5 talents doubles it, comes back with 10, and the master's pleased. He's like, awesome job. Now this is to me one of the more interesting things about this passage. The man with 2 talents also came. Master, he said, you entrusted me with 2 talents. See, I have gained 2 more. And his reply is identical. He says, well done, good and faithful servant. You've been faithful with a few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Come and share with your master's come and share your master's happiness. I think sometimes we have this idea, philosophy, concept that God is more pleased with people who do more. But that's not what I see in this passage. What God is saying is that really God is happy if you use what He's given you. Because some people He's given more and they're going to do more with it. Some people He's given less, they're not going to do quite as much. But the important thing is that you use your talent. So whether you're a 5-talent person or a 2-talent person, if you use that talent for God, He is pleased. But of course, the 1-talent person, can you see that on the video? That's my dog eating chocolate chip cookies off the counter. Hey, stop that. Okay. Then verse 24 says this, then the man who had received the 1 talent came. Master, he said, I knew that you were a hard man, harvesting where you have not sown, gathering where you have not scattered. So I was afraid and went out and hid your talent in the ground. See, here's what belongs to you. Really, he's just making excuses. And Jesus says, you wicked, lazy servant. And he goes on, he kind of rebuttals his excuses. And he says this, take the talent from him and give it to the one who has 10 talents. I often say, kind of offhanded, I've said this to a few of my friends, like I believe in connections, even though we don't have a ton of stuff, that because we're using it for God's glory, because we're doing the best we can with what we have, that He will continue to bless us. He will continue to give us more. And if you really take this parable for what it says, that those who aren't using their talents, He'll give those to us. I mean, those with 1 talent who are just burying them in the ground, He'll take those away and give it to those of us who are using our talents for Christ. So let me encourage you. It doesn't matter how many talents you have. The important thing is that so it doesn't matter how many talents you have. The important thing is that you are using them for Christ. Also, a couple quick announcements. IOU continues this week. We're starting a 3-week drama. It's starting this week. It's going to be great. So come watch the drama. Also, we're doing most of our teaching on like a 10-minute video that we filmed yesterday. So Adrian Casper, for those of you who know Adrian, will be sharing right next to me. You'll see some scenes that look a little bit like this. And also, we're letting people know for the first time that we are doing a Super Bowl party at Connection. So we'll open the doors. Everyone can just kind of bring snacks. We'll have the game on the big screen. And you know, we can enjoy the game, and if the game's horrible, we'll at least enjoy the commercials. So that's coming up Super Bowl weekend. Hope to see you this weekend. God bless. Get out of my food.